long time ago, on the night when Jesus was born, there was a little mouse called Michael. Now I hope you're not afraid of little mice, because this was a very friendly one. He had big ears and a long tail, tiny little eyes, and a red woolly jacket to keep out the cold. He was sleeping in a little hole just above a stream, making nice thoughts and making nice noises. Suddenly he was wakened by a strange noise. He looked up into the sky and saw that it was bright as day, though it was the middle of the night. And then he heard, so he scampered along to see a good friend of his, an owl, who lived up a tree and had a good view of everything that went on.
Whoo! Whoo! What's all the noise about?
There's a great commotion. A baby has been born in Bethlehem, and it seems everyone's going to see him.
Bethlehem? That's miles away. Do you think it's worth me going to?
I'm sure you would find it to be a very memorable experience.
Whoo! Whoo! So off went Michael. There weren't any buses or trains in these days, so he had to swim across 2 rivers and climb hills all on his own. There was a long way to go. At last he arrived and stood in the yard just next to the stable where Jesus was born. He was quite exhausted, and his little red jacket was all dirty, so he looked himself clean as best he could. After all, he wanted the little baby to see him at his best. So he looked himself clean as best he could. So while he was cleaning, along came some sheep.
I'm going to see the baby.
Could I come with you?
Do you have a present?
No, I haven't.
Then you can't come with me.
Well, what kind of present have you brought?
I've got some wool to keep the baby warm.
And into the stable walked Mrs. E and her friends. As they left, Michael heard another sound.
Well, hello, Mrs. Cow. How do you do? Do. And where are you off to?
I'm not off anywhere. I'm here to see the little baby.
Could I come with you?
Do you have a present?
No, I haven't.
Then you cannot come with me.
Well, what kind of present have you brought?
I got some milk in case the baby gets thirsty. No.
So Mrs. Cow moved her way into the stable. Michael was quite sad. He could not get in. And he was especially sad when he heard how the people inside were enjoying themselves.
No surprise at all. This isn't my first maternity ward I visited. I like to eat babies the same as everyone else.
That's why I'm here, just in case you were wondering. What are the chances of you and I going in together? You see, I don't know anybody.
Have you got a present for the little baby?
No, I haven't.
Then you can't come with me. At least I brought some eggs with me for the baby.
But I don't see any eggs.
That's because I haven't laid them yet.
And away she clucked into the stable. Michael got sadder and sadder. He was determined to get in, but he didn't know how. So he thought he'd walk around for a bit, and eventually he found himself right outside the stable door. He looked up, and you'll never guess what was staring him straight in the face.
Meow, meow,
It was a big cat.
meow.
It was a big gray tomcat with smelly breath. It had been eating a tin of sardines, and it hadn't cleaned its teeth. It breathed right into Michael's face.
Just what are you up to?
I'm just here to see the little baby. Honest.
You're just here to see the little baby, eh? Have you got a present for him?
No, I haven't.
Well, you're not getting in.
Well, what about you? I don't see a present. What are you doing here?
I'm employed to keep hoodlums like you far, far away. Take this.
And at that, the cat went to hit Michael with his big gray paw. But Michael scampered and ran to the side of the stable, where he puffed and puffed, breathless with fear and excitement. While he was puffing and panting, he saw some other visitors to the stable. Not hens or sheep or cows, but other ones. You know who. So there was Michael. He'd run all the way, he'd got his clothes dirty, he talked to the visitors going in, he'd heard the singing inside, he'd been threatened by a maladjusted tomcat, and he couldn't get in. Michael was sad. He was very, very sad, and he began to cry. A big tear dribbled down to the end of his little nose and onto his red jacket. He was so sad. I don't know what it was, but something made him look up. He looked up to the stable wall, and though it was very dark, he saw a circle of light, about the size of a dime. It was a small hole, and Michael wondered if he could maybe climb up to it. It was very high, and as he climbed higher and higher, the wind got louder and louder. It was blowing hard by the time he reached the hole. First he squeezed his head in, then he squeezed his body in. Then he went head first into the hole and stuck his bottom in it, and he let his tail dangle down outside. It took him a little while to get used to the light, because it was quite bright in this stable. But as soon as his eyes were all right, the first thing he noticed was that Mary, the baby's mother, was looking over at him. She gave him a big wink. Then she got Joseph, the little baby's father, to look over at Michael, and he gave him a big wink, and then said ever so gently,
Thanks, little man.
That puzzled Michael. Why should Joseph thank him? Then he realized what he had done. You see, the hole in the wall was too high for Joseph to reach up and plug it, and he and Mary were worried in case Jesus would feel the draft and catch a cold. Of course, the moment Michael stuck his bottom in the hole, the draft stopped. Mary didn't have to worry any longer, so in Michael's honor she sang a lullaby. though it was really a mouse idea. He could see everything. He saw the sheep giving her wool to keep the little baby warm. He saw the cow giving her milk to the baby when he was thirsty. Then he saw the hen laying her eggs. And since she wasn't sure, whether it was right to give eggs to such a small baby, she gave them to Mary instead. And he saw the shepherds and the wise men give their presents. And everybody looked so happy, even the big gray tomcat with the smelly breath.
Meow.
Michael stayed in the hole in the wall all night until morning came. Then, when the wind had stopped howling and without any fuss, he climbed down the outside wall and headed for home. By the time he got back to the stream where he lived, he was very tired. But his friend was there waiting to greet him.
Woo! Woo! I've heard all about it, you know. I've spoken with the sheep, had a word with the cow, and listened for ages to one of the hens. They told me all about how you didn't get in to see the little baby because you didn't have a present.
Oh yes, I did see the baby.
But I thought you didn't have a present. What did you give him?
I gave him me for as long as he needed me.
Then Michael turned and disappeared into his little hole at the side of the stream. And that is where the story ends, with Michael's words, I gave him me for as long as he needed me. There is no better gift to give Jesus today or any day.